Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I am assuming, and could be a wrong assumption, that we all had that kind of person in our childhood, or maybe in adulthood, that we played some board games or, I don't know, football, volleyball, something like a team. And you had that person who could not take a loss, who, if that person was losing, started, acting out and, doing all kind of stuff, just trying to win. And it was very, like a bad taste for us that are the good people. And you had those people as children, and some of us met them as adults as well. I confess that when I was a boy, because I had a pee-pee, and I still have it, I used to smack those guys. Like smack, pang, pang. Come to your fucking senses and be normal. Well, they behaved for a while, but then they got back to their acts. As an adult, you can't smack them because there would be hello 911. So you can't do that. The only thing you can do is just laugh and look at them and say, poor people. They're hurt people. They're just... Anyway, well, this is United States of America. In international relations, this is what they do. When something doesn't go its way, they start changing rules, throw a tantrum, and punch people around and yell and cry and all that. Use anything to discredit everybody else and try to get them lower than they are, when in fact they are the biggest cheaters. So what's going on here? We got a private military company, which is a mercenary company, let's put it this way. These are private military companies. We have Blackwaters, that I always mention. Why? Because it was the first one I heard about when they invaded Iraq. So that was 1,000 years ago. All right? And now we have Wagner Group, another mercenary company. They learned from the other companies, which were the Americans. The Americans were ahead of the, anyway, you know what I mean. Now, when these guys are losing, which is the United States, and they see someone else, another company that's more efficient than yours in killing people, you start throwing a tantrum. You don't like it because you're losing. So you have your mercenary companies, when they do what they do, which is killing people, it's A-okay. We're good. We're winning. Yeah. Have you observed that these people that I was talking about at the beginning of this video, they like to play the game when they're winning. The moment they start losing, they start calling everybody a cheater. They change rules as we go. They try to change. When I'm playing, they don't change rules. Okay? When I'm playing, they don't change fucking rules. Okay? I'm going to argue. You want to fight? I don't think so. Anyway. We don't get to that point, but I'm just saying. And they change rules, they do everything. Now, Wagner Group of Russia seems to be more efficient in killing people. And they don't like it. So they're going to change certain things. Instead of calling Wagner Group as a private military company, they're going to call it a terrorist organization. So they're going to change the term, give it a different connotation, which is the same activity they do, like their, in this case, Blackwater, but it's because it's not ours and we're losing somewhere. They're more efficient than us. We have to do something about it. So we rig the game. We cheat. Remember the same thing when the Russians and gas and oil in Europe. Nobody could compete with them. They were selling oil and gas and coal at the cheapest discount price. Nobody could compete. The Americans were like, blah, 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 blah. Nothing. They couldn't do shit. What did they do? They banned them. How did they ban them? They banned them to have access to the market by telling those idiots, hey, if you're buying from the Russians, then you are criminals. And the European says, okay, daddy, I'm going to do whatever you tell me. And they eliminated the competition by calling the Russians this and Russians that and all that. So that's how they do it. When they are losing, they can't compete, they're gonna eliminate competition by this kind of weasel moves. If let's say tomorrow is gonna be another country, let's say Zimbabwe, my favorite, we're gonna have the best military industrial complex on this planet. Tomorrow Zimbabwe will be bombed or something. Zimbabwe is already under sanctions. So let's get another, I don't know, Mozambique. I don't think Mozambique is any sanctions. And if I make a mistake, let's say Papua New Guinea. If they overnight challenge the United States fairly, in the economic terms, military terms, anything that you may think of, if they show that they are better at doing something that the Americans were better, they will claim and they will label those guys as terrorist, human rights violation, discrimination, fucking nation, pickle nation, anything just to get them out of the game and rig the whole thing so they can remain the boss. Well, this is like a kid that you can't smack. Alright? So let's say you're around the board table and you play with other kids, and this is the strongest, the toughest, and he's losing. And he started making stuff. What are you gonna do? The best thing to do is not to participate. Say, okay, I gotta go now. And you leave. Otherwise, because you can't challenge the guy, even if you got like 3 people, you can't challenge, he's gonna beat all 3 of you. It happened to me. So anyway, so you keep your mouth shut and say, I'm not gonna participate, and leave. You don't participate in the game. But what can they do? Because they want you gone, like gone. Take Russia. I told you the energy. Russia became too cozy to the European market. And what did Americans do? From Ukraine, no more buying from the Russians. That means Russian competition is eliminated. This is how these guys function. Like a fucking kid throwing a tantrum at a board game. It happened to me many times. As I said, I could have smacked them. I smacked them then, but what happens if the guy is the strongest? But usually the guy who's the strongest, has a different attitude. Sometimes. Let's see what's going on here in this article that I have here, prepared. This article comes from Ukrinform, from today, the November 29th, 2022. US may label Russia's Wagner Group mercenaries as terrorist organizations. Yeah, it's okay. They will probably start eliminating your beautiful people in your country. Since they're terrorists, they will say, okay, where's that emblem? Terrorist. Right here. Okay, now I'm a terrorist. And I'm going to do what a terrorist does. And what else can you tell them? They're going to label them super terrorist, double terrorist, triple terrorist, fucker terrorist, perfect terrorist. What term will beat terrorist? War criminal is the same thing. So what are you going to... So once you label these guys, there's no more to fuck them up in terminology. And if they act really at the level of the term you label them with, then what? Because right now you say they're terrorists, they do this. What if they turn a terrorist in your country? What are you going to do? Are you going to attack Russia? I don't think so. So you poke the fucking bear in a certain way. What do you say? Well, should we leave them be? No. But why don't you look at your guys first? Oh, I mean, what do they do, these private military companies? Do you think that they guard objectives and they stay over there and wait like this because they have one sling? Do you think that's what they do? Do you think? On the paper, that's what they do. They defend and they protect certain kind of objectives. Do you think that's what they do? I don't fucking believe it. I don't know. Do you think that French Foreign Legion is doing that? Oh, okay, we're military, we're legionnaires, yes. Do you think so? You make me laugh about that one. Anyway, I'm just saying, lost competition. The Russians are doing something more efficient than your guys are doing. You gotta eliminate competition. They're terrorist organizations. Your organizations were not terrorists. Just these guys right here. The White House is weighing whether to label Russian Wagner Group as a foreign terrorist organization. Who's White House? The fucking weasels. I can't believe these guys are even... Shit. Imagine these guys at the same table. Kirby, you got Sullivan, you got Blinken, you got Kamala, you got Sleepy Joe, who's Okay, and you got who else? You got Jean-Pierre, whatever her name is, the spokes. There's no shit. Who else? Show me. Give me a name. Give me a name that I can respect. Give me one fucking name. Austin? Did you see Austin? General Austin. Did you see him during the pandemic? He was like a fucking robot. You know, like those guys who go in space with a spacesuit because he didn't want to get the COVID, but he's the most courageous guy. Do you remember how Alexander the Great was running into the fight with no fucking helmet? No helmet! That's how he was riding in on his horse. Remember his horse name? I can't remember. Palaus. I can't remember his name. Anyway, that's how we used to roll. But Austin, look how he was with the fucking shield, with everything, and he still got COVID after all these fucking injections. I can't say it. He got them. He still got COVID. And then you got the other retard. I have the white man rage. I'm sorry. I have to check that out. Millie. Fuck you, Millie. Fuck you. Alright? These guys are the guys who... Tell me one person. Give me one name. Please give me one name. One name. One. Well, I have Shoigu. He's an idiot, okay? Apparently. I got Peskov, the same guy. The same. But I got Zakharova. Look at how she talks. Look at Lavrov. Look at Jai Shankar. Look at Wang Wei. Look at Peter Sziarto of Hungary. Now, those are fucking people. And we have these weasels. And these guys are weighing at the table. What do you think, Kamala? Oh, come on, wipe your cum off your mouth, Kamala. Don't show like that. These guys are weighing. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. Embarrassment. And don't think this is an anomaly. Don't think that's an anomaly. I worked in some jobs, including in the fucking US government. Anyway, US government, that's a different story. In the government, all right? So it's enough. And I met the same kind of shit, the same kind of mediocrities. Ask them, okay, tell me what's the capital of Bangladesh? Okay. Can you tell me the population of this planet? Can you show me how you tie your shoes? How in the fuck you take a shit? So these people were in control of millions of dollars and thousands of people in the government, and they were telling us what to do. And I had to deal with them. And because you still, you have to play nice. You're a weasel. You can't be that all the time, at least sometimes. So if you think that this is just a, isolated incident when you have these mediocrities being at the top of this country, no, don't think that way. Don't think that way. I met people from here, I met people from here, I met people from here, and not that I wasn't impressed. That's how should I put it? It's just you feel like throwing up, because those guys are, I don't want to say working, but they act in a way that they create lack of efficiency. A lot of money is lost because of these guys' poor decisions, because their inabilities. And you say, hey, Emil, how did they get that position? Well, you tell me. You tell me how they got over there. What qualities they had to get that position. Not all of them, most of them. I would say 98%. And they're afraid of people like you, honest and straight, and people who want to do good. They're afraid, because that exposes their misery, their character, their lack of efficiency. They're used to leak asses and kiss asses and go to cocktail parties and get engaged in bisexual and trisexuals and all that. They're with the mass media and all together. I've been to this kind of parties. I know how they are. Makes me throw up. Yeah, and wash your cock real hard after something like that. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth and be just.